About Terry McLaurin, TJ Watt. They're not in mandatory minicamp. They both want contract extensions. I don't think there is a chance Terry McLaurin gets traded. I think that he is the number one receiver for them. I know they went out and they got Debo Samuel, but Jaden Daniels is on a rookie contract. I think they know how valuable Terry McLaurin's been. He's been with the franchise when they were knee deep in Taylor Heineke and Carson Wentz and Alex Smith and trying to find the quarterback of the future. Uh, this other one, though, I am surprised more people are not bringing up the fact of which I believe the Pittsburgh Steelers should actually trade TJ Watt. I think
Interesting.
I think he's 31 years old. He is on the decline. He has had injuries the past 2 years. And Josh, we talked about the Steelers' playoff woes and how they have not won a playoff game in a decade. The last playoff game they won was against Matt Moore's Dolphins in 2016. Do you know TJ Watt in his last 4 playoff games? Guess how many sacks he has?
2?
1. That's it. 1 sack.
See, I understand why you believe the TJ Watt stuff is the bigger story, but I'm actually going to go the other way and say Terry McLaurin's more the bigger story here. And that's partially because I'll bring your Philadelphia Eagles into the conversation because I think this Terry McLaurin stuff directly affects them. And here's why. I don't think the Eagles are going to trade for Terry McLaurin. I'm not suggesting that. The Commanders wouldn't be that stupid. But you know that the Eagles and Commanders are going to be fighting each other for the NFC East division title. The NFC East hasn't seen a repeat division winner in years. And a lot of people believe the Eagles will be the first team to do it. Rightfully so. But you look at why Washington got to the point they did last season, it's because of the chemistry Jaden Daniels formed with Terry McLaurin. So that's why I actually view Terry McLaurin as the bigger story, because it not only affects the Commanders, it affects the Philadelphia Eagles, and I believe it directly impacts the state of the NFC. Because if the Commanders have McLaurin, you gotta say they're one of the top teams in the NFC. But if they lose Terry McLaurin, I would put the Rams ahead of them. We'll see what happens with the NFC North. We'll get to them in a minute with Minnesota and Chicago, Green Bay, Detroit. All 4 teams are very capable. Tampa Bay, I don't think is going anywhere. And we'll see what happens with Atlanta and possibly an improved Carolina team. And then, like I said, with the NFC West, you got the Rams. We'll see what and we'll see what happens with the Seahawks, 49ers, and Cardinals. So, I really do believe Terry McLaurin is the bigger story because it doesn't just affect the Commanders. It impacts the Eagles and the rest of the NFC. Notice that I didn't mention the Cowboys.
Yes, but here's why I don't think it's a big story. Because I don't think he's leaving at all. I think there's 0% chance. I think that they're just playing a negotiating tactic here between both sides. He will be signed. May not be the first couple of days of training camp when they get into July. It may take until the start of the season. But there is no way in hell Jaden Daniels does not have Terry McLaurin out there week 1.
I'm going to rejoin on my computer. I got it working.
Okay. He is on a rookie deal. Jaden Daniels is. They don't have to pay him. So, in my opinion, there is no shot in hell that as young as Terry McLaurin is, he's not going anywhere. For TJ Watt, he's 31 years old. I know the Steelers are defensive culture, and knowing the Steelers, they would pay him. But I'm just saying, could you trade TJ Watt for a first and a third, maybe get an extra offensive lineman and actually rebuild your offensive line. You already have Darius Slay, you have Alex Highsmith, you have Cam Hayward, you have Patrick Queen. There are defensive pieces there where it's like, in my opinion, if the Steelers were smart, they shouldn't have invested in Aaron Rodgers. They should have just went with Mason Rudolph this year, went under 500, got a new quarterback, and stop trying to spend the most money that you possibly can on defense and being an irrelevant franchise.
I do like that they drafted Will Howard, the quarterback out of Ohio State.
Stop. He's not a legit NFL quarterback. He's just not. You guys are all fooled by Will Howard, the guy that played at Ohio State that won the national championship last year. Show me one tight window throw the guy made. Because I can't, I'll tell you right now, you won't be able to find one. Will Howard is a prototypical college quarterback who is at best a third-string quarterback in the NFL. He's nothing.
I'm not saying he's going to come in and turn into a star or anything like that, but he could be a solid starting quarterback. We don't know.
I can't believe you, as a Penn State fan, actually think Will Howard's a good quarterback.
He made some good throws late when Notre Dame was on the comeback.
Yeah, going up against Notre Dame, whoop-de-doo. Notre Dame's not that good.
No. We should have beaten them in the semifinals, and it should have been a rematch between Ohio State and Penn State, but well, that's James Franklin for you.
Show me one throw Will Howard made under pressure.
I wish he was playing in this game against Texas. By the way, that's where College Game Day is going to be for Lee Corso's final appearance.
Speaking of Texas, we got to go down to Texas. We got to go down to Houston because all the Browns fans are upset. Oh, my God. I can't believe we're losing Nick Chubb. And this is why you Browns fans, this is why you'll never win a Super Bowl. Because this is why you losers are, because we lost our to the team. We lost our running back. Did you not watch Nick Chubb last year? And I'm not talking about you, Josh. I'm talking about the stupid idiot fans out there that are drunk on Sundays that don't even watch the game. Do you not realize Nick Chubb had a piano on his back last year running? He looked like a broken down old man. It was sad. Okay, I get the Browns' offensive line was terrible, but Nick Chubb was not the same running back. He is not the same running back. And you just drafted two electric running backs in Dylan Sampson, who I really like out of Tennessee. And then I think Junkins could be a hammer like a Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery situation like they had in Detroit. So I'm actually going to defend Andrew Berry on this one. It was time for Nick Chubb to go.
The writing was on the wall the moment the Browns drafted not just one running back, but two.
Thank you. Why is everybody so sad? Why is everybody so confused? Do these idiots not pay attention to the media?
He was not the same after his injury against the Steelers.
Thank you. Oh, my God. Your Browns fans are literally in tears. Like, Nick Chubb won you one playoff game. This is Baker Mayfield all over again. This is why these losers, you guys root for losers because you guys have never seen a winning team. And I don't mean to be a dickhead. I know it sounds like I'm going to go to the biggest dick in the world. But it's just the goddamn truth here, people. I'm sorry I'm swearing, but it is.
The Browns are sad. They really are. They're not. Honestly, I look at, their schedule for 2025. I got them going 6-11 at best.
Oh, that's generous. And by the way, in my opinion, they would go 6-11 if Shedeur Sanders starts. Yeah, I have seen winning teams, Jalen. By the way, your team drafted two running backs in Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery. And by the way, you guys lost Frank right now. You guys are sad about it. You're not bawling your eyes out over it. Oh, my God, Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb was not making a difference if you win or lose the Super Bowl or not. You know who is? Can Shedeur Sanders play in this league?
Yeah. And it's so what's sad, legitimately sad for the Browns is watch. They're gonna start probably Joe Flacco, if I had to guess. At some point, Shador's gonna be on the field because Jimmy Haslam's gonna stick his nose where it doesn't belong, and that's how it'll end up.
Oh, I disagree. I think Shador should start week 1.
Uh,
I think Shador's the best quarterback of the team. I'm here to say I think the Browns franchise and my thoughts on them will completely change if Shador Sanders starts for them week 1. I'd pick them third in the division over Pittsburgh.
The Browns are pathetic. They really are. It's like they want me to just sit here and be like, how can I root for this team? How? I don't get it with them. But
here's the thing though, outside of Deshaun Watson, what other move was that pissed you off that much?
Not at the time it didn't piss me off, but of course now it has, trading Baker Mayfield, but who knew he was going to become what he has with Tampa Bay?
Well, because he had the weapons and the infrastructure in Tampa, and he has an offense that fits him, unlike what it was going to work in Cleveland. I keep telling you people this. It was never going to happen in Cleveland. Good for Baker. He found a home for him. Guess what? Baker hasn't made it past the divisional round in Tampa Bay either. So, yeah, they may have had some good seasons. Baker Mayfield's not an all-pro quarterback.
No. The Browns haven't really done any other moves that have pissed me off. Actually, yes, they did. When they drafted Johnny Manziel.
I'm talking about recently in this regime. See, you guys take everything back. Oh my God, 30 years ago this happened. Nobody alive really cares about what happened 30 years ago. The only thing you guys should care about right now is Shador Sanders should be starting week 1 because he seriously, he might be better than Cam Ward. He might be the best quarterback in this draft.
Good
and you
Lord.
got him in the 5th round. The problem is, for whatever reason, Kevin Stefanski loves Dylan Gabriel, which I don't understand because he's a little twerp.
But I want to take this from the Houston side of things, because they already have Joe Mixon, so you're bringing in another running back. They're trying to go with the 2 running back approach, kind of like what Detroit did. And
yeah, I think this will be very similar to what Ezekiel Elliott did in New England. I hate to say it. I think this is Nick Chubb for last season.
It would not surprise me. Do I think it'll make a huge difference for the Texans? No. Maybe
they don't have a great offensive line either, so.
No, but will it allow them to maybe do the play action game more? Perhaps, but overall, I don't think it makes a huge difference. Houston is still 4th or 5th in the AFC, arguably, behind Kansas City, Baltimore, and Buffalo, like we said earlier. It's okay. Is it disappointing that he's not in Cleveland? Yes, but it's not surprising.
Who was the one that 2 years ago when we first started this show said the Browns should have traded Nick Chubb?
Yeah, you did.